Stay here till we give you the word, Benny. Come on, Frank. Easy with that brush.
No one move.
I told you weren't going anywhere without me.
Benny, come and get this big bitch.
Try anything and I'll break her neck. Now tell them what they have to do, Simpson. Tell them.
Forgive me. Just get out of here, for God's sake. She'll kill me. Forgive me. Please just move.
You all right?
Yeah, we're okay. Our friends are pretty small time, aren't they?
It's you. Aren't you afraid to be on your own with me?
Of course not.
You know what happened last time.
There wasn't a last time, so why don't you admit it?
Because I'm not going to help you and your screwmates that are telling lies about what happened, that's why.
Just a minute, haven't you got that back to front? You started telling the lies, that's why you're in here.
Yeah, but look, if you hadn't have been so stuck up in the first place, none of this would have happened. I only wanted to see my little girl. Now I'll never get to see her.
Tell the truth, things could get better.
There's only one thing that'll make it better.
What's that?
I just want to see Elizabeth, that's all. I might change my story.
If I went to the governor and started asking for privileges for you, she'd know we were cooking something up.
Oh, well, forget it then. Well, you're in the clear anyway, so what you worried about?
I'm worried because some of your mates believe your story, and you know that means trouble.
Well, tough luck, because I'm not going to help you.
It's your choice. Just remember, it could be worse for you, you know.
How?
You could get a longer sentence. Think about it.
Here you are. Plenty of milk and sugar. Just the thing for shock.
Thanks, but really, we ought to be going.
No, let them wait. You've had a nasty scare.
We've had a lot more if you hadn't been there.
Oh, just doing what I had to for a fellow officer.
I really am grateful. Oh, you had me worried for a minute.
Oh? Why?
Thought you really might break Hannah's neck.
Did you? Well, I'll go and collect her and we'll get going. You finish your tea.
Really, I'm all right.
If you say so.
First race of the day and I'm down already.
That's because you put your money on that old nag.
Wasn't an old nag, it had good form.
Yeah, when Adam was riding it. Anyway, I can't knock it. It's good for the book. Faye will be pleased.
Well, that's if you can trust the bookie of the day.
Don't say that, Lizzie.
Oh, keep your own doors on have you a crack at
Yeah, well, this is my first go at it. I think I'm doing real
Hey,
good.
hang on a minute. It's been on the news.
Hostage in a dramatic bid to free remand prisoner Hannah Simpson from a corridor outside the main courtroom. The two gunmen, so far unidentified, made off in a car police now know to be stolen. We'll have more on that in later bulletins. Meanwhile, in Canberra...
Bugger Canberra.
Fancy Hannah doing that, eh?
Well, no wonder she was acting like Lady Muck. She thought she was just passing through.
She'll have to think again, eh, B?
I'll say. After this little stunt, they'll throw away the key.
Oh, all right, but I've got a right to know why I'm being shifted.
You've got no rights, only privileges. But then I suppose you should know. It's going to be a lot safer having you share a dorm with another prisoner.
Oh, yeah, I suppose I will be.
Oh, don't be ridiculous. I couldn't give a damn about you. It's the officers who have to deal with you. They're the ones who aren't safe. Come on, get your things together. You'll be taken to your new dorm straight after lunch.
Another coffee?
Oh, no, thanks. Remember, we're on lunch duty. Besides, if I have another cup, I feel as though I'm floating.
How come?
Well, Joan kept giving me tea at the courthouse, in case I was suffering from shock.
Strange lady. Mind you, I should wrestle so well.
Steve.
No, I mean it.
Well, there are times like that when her talents become very useful, like this morning.
Yeah, times when we could do without them.
What do you mean?
No, it's just that... Well, I wish you hadn't been quite so eager to give me an alibi for the other night.
I got you off the hook over Chrissie Latham.
It's made it harder to deal with the women.
No one could possibly believe it was rape. Not with Chrissie's track record.
Oh, of course not, but some of them do believe I got off with her. Reckon I've abused my position. It's become another case of us against them.
Well, I don't think you'll ever be able to stop that. It's part of the job, you know.
Yeah, I suppose so. I could live without it.
Come on. Let's collect the women from the workshop and see if we can get through lunch without an incident.
If you can manage it with a bruise on the skull, I'm sure I can cope too.
Here.
Oh, they sent me back to get you. They realised you weren't with us.
Well, stand outside while I put my money away.
Why? You frightened I'll find out where you hide it?
Yes, if you must know.
Bloody lovely way to talk to an old mate. Some secret anyway. Everybody know that you hide your money in a tissue box.
Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Anyway, you keep it while I put it away.
Oh, righto.
Ruth! Lizzie! My money's got pinched. What? My own personal money that belongs to me, it's gone.
What are you up to?
Oh, I was just getting a tissue to wipe my nose. I think I've got a cold coming up.
It'll still be coming on after lunch, if you ever get there.
Well, I've got to put these back because I messed up the box.
You can fix that later too. Now move.
I expect you to understand anyway.
Better than toast. Right.
Just a few smart remarks.
Buggers pinched me money.
Not the betting bank.
No, my own money. $6 whole.
Out of your tissue box.
Well, how'd you know where it was?
Everyone does.
Oh, bugger, that means anyone could have took it.
That's right.
Wait till I get my hands on whoever it was.
I brought you in here to have a meal.
Yeah, well, Lizzie's getting it for me.
Get it yourself.
Hitler.
I heard that, Burns.
Might be a bit of a problem finding Doreen's money.
How come?
She's got such a mouth and she was so pleased with herself when she found that hiding place. But do you know where she kept it?
Oh, yeah, when you said, I remembered.
Yeah, well, there you go. Mind you, there are some people who couldn't have taken it.
Like who?
Simpson, for instance. Faye thought she was lifting things, but she was in court all morning.
Be a few of them, I suppose.
And Doreen's probably thrown out a few hints to the screws as well. One of them could have done it. They've moved around more freely than we do, and they've got more chance to spend the proceeds.
Come on, Latham, don't take over with that. Got to get you settled, remember?
Hey, who do you reckon took Dora's money?
How the hell would I know at this stage?
Well, I thought you might have some idea.
Give us a go, Lizzie. I just heard.
Well, all right, don't get your wig wet. I just thought you might, you know, have some suspicions. I mean, it's bloody awful. You just don't know who to trust. You can expect that sort of thing on the outside. Not in here, I mean to say.
Why aren't you in the dining room, Simpson? It's lunchtime. Did you hear me?
Yes, I heard.
What was that?
I said I heard you, Miss Ferguson.
That's better. I would have thought you'd want some lunch after all that exercise this morning. And we did have some exercise, didn't we? Although I don't think it was quite what you had in mind. Jogging, I think you had planned. Running away. Whose idea was it? Yours or theirs? Yours, I think. Those blokes wouldn't have had the nous to think of something like that. Picked the wrong mates, didn't you? Didn't you? You'd better get your powers of speech back. Because we're going to be seeing a lot of one another from now on. And I can't talk to myself all the time, can I?
What do you mean we'll be seeing a lot of one another?
Oh? There are some things that make you talk. I've been asked to keep a special eye on you. Particularly when we're alone. Just the two of us. I'll like that. I hope you do too. So, it'll help if we get along. Here. A peace offering.
Take it away. I don't want anything from you.
Well, hurry up. Get in. Oh, what's Simpson doing here?
Oh, I was just talking to her about lunch.
Too late for lunch now. Okay, there's your bed. Start putting your things away.
Is she coming in here?
Yeah, there's more room than any other dorm. What?
Oh, just never occurred to me, that's all.
Okay, Latham. As soon as you put your things away, you'll be in the workshop. Make it fast. Simpson, you'll be able to help Madam unpack. Settle in.
Welcome to our happy home.
Yeah. I hope it's happier than the last time we met anyway.
I do mean welcome.
You got a minute, Joan?
What do you want?
Well, just a check. Is that okay with you, Meg?
Yes, just hold it there, please, ladies.
It was a private chat.
Looks like old Ferguson's whipping him off.
Thought you said she was a
It'd be
lesbian.
like wrestling with a tractor, wouldn't it? I love you, honey. I love you, honey.
I know what sort of a tractor, too.
What?
A massive Ferguson. You get it?
That's very good, Lizzie.
I have me moments.
I think the next few moments would be better spent going to the workshop, ladies.
Did you hear me joke, Mrs. M?
What I want to know is why you did it. Why you lied for me.
Worked, didn't it?
That's not the point. I didn't touch Latham. I'm innocent. You've made a cover-up out of the whole thing.
Doesn't matter.
It does. For one thing, it affects my credibility with the women.
Oh, you're not worried about them, are you?
I do have to work with them. You might remember that one of the women has access to the press.
The press won't take any notice of B. Smith.
Why do you think they asked her to write that column? Because they think she's got a unique view of things, and I agree. She starts to get unique about you, me, and Chrissie. We're in a lot of trouble.
We're not. She is.
Don't bet on it.
Ah, look, in here she might be Queen Bee, but out there she's just another crim. She shouldn't be able to get into print anyway.
Fair enough, that's your opinion. But the fact is, she does.
Relax. Let your mates look after you. You'll be better off. Well, if that's all you want, I'll get back to work.
Oh, Mrs. Powell.
Yeah?
I'm making a little pincushion for Cece Driscoll's birthday.
Oh, when's that?
Tomorrow. And I was wondering if you'd ask Mrs. M if she'd take it to Susie for me.
Yes, I'll give it to Mrs. Morris for you.
Well, it's not quite finished yet, but it will be by the Savo.
Okay, I'll get her to come and pick it up.
Thank you.
All right. Doreen, you can do the rest of that copy.
Oh, what about Chrissie? You said she was going to help me.
Chrissie and I are going to have a little chat.
What about?
You and Mr. Faulkner.
Yeah, what do you want to know?
The truth. At the moment, there are too many ifs and buts.
Well, it wasn't rape.
Then why did you say it was?
Because Because he put the hard word on me, that's why. And he said he was going to help me get Elizabeth in here on a visit if I did it with him.
You see, I told you.
All right,
it was
Lizzie.
lying.
OK, one at a time. Then why hasn't he brought your daughter in to see you?
Well, he's gone back on his word, hasn't he? Because of all the fuss, that's why.
And Ferguson's alibi is a lie?
Yes.
There, I told
All
you.
right,
so.
Lizzie, shut up.
What you going to do about it, Bea?
I'm going to see Ferguson first. And then we'll see.
You'll try anything, won't you? I suppose you'll write about this in that tatty little paper of yours.
The dispatch? Yes, I will, if I've got proof.
Oh, come off it, Smith. You've been in here long enough to know the facts of life. You're fair game, aren't you, Latham? That is one fact. And another fact is that the officers in this service have to stick together. And those are the only things you'll ever get proof of.
I'll swear she's lying. And I'll swear old Faulkner was on duty on his own.
Was he, Chrissie?
Yes, he was.
Then that's all I need to know.
What are you doing, Bea?
I'm writing my next article for the dispatch. It's going to be about prison inmates and sex and the staff.
They'll never print that.
I don't care if they don't. Just getting this to someone on the outside should create enough of a stink.
Is the bank all right? Yeah, but there's still no sign of my money.
Oh, quit worrying. We'll find out who did it.
Yeah, well, I'm going to thump them when we do.
Hey, Simpson. Thought you was on your way up north.
No, not up north, up the creek. Well, you going to tell us all about it, Simpson?
That's enough, Burns.
At least she's got her mate to look after her.
Who?
The big J.
Sounds like a ranch.
Yeah, it's a pretty big spread.
Just ignore them, love. They'll give up if you do.
I hadn't noticed.
Isn't she giving you a hard time?
Who, Doreen?
Ferguson, the big J.
I could look after myself.
Oh, I wouldn't bet on that. We all need a few friends in this place.
I don't want any friends. I just want to get out of here.
Yeah, I know how you feel.
You couldn't know.
Well, I do. Look, honey, the only way you can cope in this place is to sit tight, keep your nose clean, and you count the days. It's the only way.
And how do you do that?
Well, you could start by making a few friends.
Oh, come in. Oh, Mrs. Beamish, I was just going to come down and give you my board before I went to work.
Oh, that's not why I'm here, Susan.
Oh?
Happy birthday.
Thank you, but I didn't say it was my birthday.
No, but I found out.
Oh, it's really nice.
Well, put it on.
Oh, it looks great. Thank you. But how did you find out?
Well, because someone else came in yesterday with a present for you.
Oh?
Mrs. Morris from Wentworth.
Oh, it's not from Mrs. Morris, it's from Lizzie. Oh, look. Oh, she's gone to a lot of trouble.
Yes, I can see it's homemade, but it's very nice.
They're the best presents, aren't they? When someone's made something for you.
Well, I suppose it depends on the giver. They do say it's the thought that counts.
Oh, yours is nice too. I'll wear it today. Did I tell you I was working afternoon shift?
No, Susan, you didn't.
Well, I won't be home for dinner.
Not even tonight?
No.
Oh, really, Susan, it does make meal planning so much easier if you let me know in time.
I'm sorry.
Well, as you've said, you have the money on hand for your board. I might as well take it while I'm here.
All right.
Thank you.
You don't have to count it. It's all there.
Yes, of course. Well, have a lovely birthday. So much for the start of the day.
I wouldn't worry about it.
Why not?
Be at my place around 7, you'll find out.
My God, he must be out at 24 hours a day.
No doubt about you, Joan. The right word for every occasion.
We do our best. Must have girls hidden in holes in the walls. Something you want?
I'd like to see Lizzie Birdsworth, please. Hello, Miss Scott.
Oh, hello, Susie.
Friend of yours?
Susie spent some time here.
Oh, did she? And now she wants to come in and have a chat with her old mates. What for?
Well, Lizzie remembered my birthday. I just wanted to say thank you.
What's Birdsworth to you?
A friend.
An associate.
No, just a friend.
Well, it doesn't matter anyway. You can't see her.
Why not?
Against regulations.
Oh, but I've come a long way. Isn't there someone who could give me permission?
No. But I do think the governor should know you're hanging about. Get her on the phone, Miss Scott.
I'm afraid it is just as Miss Ferguson has told you, Susan. We would be contravening the rules to let you see Lizzie.
I see.
Thank you, Miss Ferguson. I'll have a word with Susan before she goes.
Very well, Governor.
You really will have to make a break with the women in here, you know. And the best way to do that is to make new friends.
I'm trying to.
Well, that's good, because you're going to be very much on your own in the future.
I'm on my own now.
Oh, that's not what I meant. Please sit down, Susan. Your status as a ward of the state was to be reviewed 2 weeks ago, but as yet nothing has happened.
I don't understand.
Well, it could be lost in an office tray somewhere, but I don't think so. There was a lot of sensational publicity about your case, and I wouldn't be surprised if you've become an embarrassment to the department.
Well, what happens if they don't take me back?
Well, it's not a question of taking you back. It's a matter of releasing you. That means you will be a completely free agent once your parole period is over.
Really on my own?
Exactly.
How fantastic. I'll make new friends, Mrs. Davidson. I'll try really hard.
I'm sure you'll do more than just try. And I'm sure this is goodbye. Good luck.
Thank you. Bye-bye, Mrs. Davidson.
Erica Davidson? Well, Meg, I thought you were having a day off.
I am, and I've been doing something I'd like to talk to you about. Can I come and see you?
Well, of course. I have some time this morning, or is that too soon?
The sooner the better. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Oh, Mrs. Powell.
Yes, what is it?
I want to know what it is I have to do to be put to work with the other women.
I thought you were doing your best to avoid them.
Yeah, I was, but I don't think it's the right thing.
What's brought this on?
Well, everyone keeps telling me I'm going to be here for quite a while. I'm just making the most of it.
Good. I'm pleased to hear that. Okay, I'll make the necessary arrangements.
Oh, Mrs. Powell, I'd like to see a solicitor before my next court hearing.
When's that?
In a fortnight. I was wondering if you could make some inquiries about that as well.
Yes, I'll arrange something.
Thank you.
It's the best idea the PRG have ever had. It's a wonderful old shop, and there's room for a coffee shop there. There's a place for the prisoners to sell their craft work, as well as plenty of room for a halfway house.
I think it's absolutely marvellous. What about the rent?
Well, it's fairly cheap, thank goodness. Otherwise, we just wouldn't have been able to make it work. There is one problem, however, which is one of the reasons I'm here to see you.
What is it?
Well, as you can imagine, it's a very big project, and it will need a full-time manager. In fact, Mara Desmond thinks we need someone living in.
That costs a lot of money.
Which is just what we haven't got.
Well, what we need is someone who'll live cheaply and needs a roof over their head, right?
Yes, that just about sums it up.
Meg, did you come here to ask my opinion or confirm your own thoughts on the matter?
A bit of both.
And who did you have in mind?
Judy Bryant.
So did I.
Well, the parole board should be satisfied because you'll have a job as well as a roof over her head.
Possibly. I think we ought to get Judy in here and discuss the whole business.
All right, ladies, would someone like to show Simpson what to do? She'd like to join in.
Oh. Well, I don't mind showing her.
Oh, sorry, I've got to take you to the governor's office.
What for?
Hey, don't panic. I don't think it's anything serious.
Oh, well, Shirley could use a hand, you know, clean up the type.
Is this one Shirley?
Yeah.
Take a few minutes to introduce us.
Sure. Come on here.
Okay. Sure.
What are you two on?
Nothing interesting. Local government job.
Some sort of forms.
You know, probably for the parking joeys. You know what they're like. Put them in a uniform and they think they can get away with murder, or worse.
Right, Burns, that's enough. You've had your fun with your smart remarks, but this is where they stop, right?
I was only...
Well, don't. You ready, Bryant?
Yeah.
Geez, with his track record, she ought to watch herself on the way to the office.
What do you mean by that?
Didn't you hear? He tried to race our Chrissie off.
Oh, don't keep on about it, Doreen.
Chrissie's real upset, and Bee's going to put a bit in the paper about it.
Just shut up, Dor.
I really didn't think that sort of thing could happen, you know, between the Warders and one of us.
Well, it can. You'll see.
Hey, here it is.
Well, give it here. Where's Bee's bit about Chrissie and Faulkner?
I couldn't find it.
Well, it doesn't seem to be here. You sure you brought the whole paper?
Of course I did. Bee's article must have been censored.
Well, wouldn't you know? We tried to put one over on the screws and suddenly there's no bloody freedom of the press at all.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, don't worry, Chrissie. They just couldn't fit it in this time. It'll be in next time.
Do you really think so?
Oh, of course. Anyway, let's have a look and see what else is in this crummy rag.
Well, that's the job. What do you think of it?
I don't know what to think. It's all such a surprise.
I thought it might be, and I'm sure you'll want to know as much as possible before you commit yourself.
Oh, of course.
I'll see that Judy gets back to the workshop when she's finished in here. Please sit down, Judy.
So, I would be managing the entire complex?
The coffee shop, the craft shop, the lot, and living in.
And advising other girls in trouble.
I don't know if I'm ready for that.
I think you are, Judy. So does Mrs. Davidson.
I certainly do. But there is one thing you'll have to consider very carefully before you accept.
What's that?
Because it will include ex-prisoners, the parole board, well, they may not be in favour of your association with them.
So they might not let me out to do the job?
It is just possible.
Oh. Well, in that case, I'll have to knock it back. If I apply for parole and they refuse me, that's going to go on my record. That'll just make it more difficult for me next time I apply for parole.
That's why I mentioned it.
It's a job I'd really like to do, too.
Well, let me put something else to you. As you can see, we are both in favour of you being paroled. I believe I could put a preliminary inquiry to the board and get an unofficial reply.
Which we hope is yes.
If it is not, I know it will be disappointing for you, but at least there will not be a refusal noted on your record.
Right. Well, the sooner the better. If the parole board are willing to take a chance on me, I'll take the job.
Oh. Another day over.
Yep. But it's the best day I've spent here so far.
Whatever turns you on.
No, just working and talking to people makes it go a lot quicker.
Oh, it don't go that much quicker. And the nights, they never get any better.
No, I suppose they don't, not when you're scared.
Scared?
Yeah, of what might happen to you when you're alone with those warders.
You talking about me and Faulkner?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't like to talk about it that much.
Gosh, I don't know, you can get it out of your mind.
You, worried about Ferguson, then?
Yeah, of course I am.
Ah, she won't touch you, not whilst I'm in here with you.
Nothing could stop her. Anyway, I just want to get out of here.
You tried that once, didn't you?
Yeah, and I'd try it again if they weren't watching me all the time. Organise something.
You got to have friends on the outside to do that, love. And friends that cost you money.
Sounds like you've tried.
Yeah. I tried to get me and me little girl out of the state. You can see how far I got. I can't afford it again.
But you have got friends.
Yeah. I've got a few. But they've all got mines like cash registers. Nothing for nothing.
Would they do things for you if they were paid?
It would have to be a pretty big if.
Oh, I don't know. Say they had some help with the financial arrangements. Well, just say, for instance, I could find you some money. Do you think you could find me a friend or two?
Depends what sort of friends you had in mind.
Okay, let's have it. Hey, this is good.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, with what I've taken, we've got a nice little business going here.
What'd you get?
Never mind. Just let's say some people will have a bet in anything. Now, you go outside and wait while I take your commission out and put the rest away.
I won't look or nothing.
Doreen, I need somebody to keep Nick. Now get outside. Out! Stop trying to sneak a look.
I wasn't.
Here.
Oh, thanks. I don't know what you're putting on such a big deal about hiding it for, not with me.
Because if nobody finds out where it is, well, I can't nick it then, can they?
Hey, whoa, you'll get me drunk.
Me? Never. I wouldn't do that to anyone who agreed to come round for dinner.
Oh, wouldn't you?
No way. Besides, everyone knows women can't enjoy good wine. I'm glad you came round today.
Well, so am I.
No, I'm serious. It's made all the hassles at work with Latham and the other women seem a long way off.
It was the dinner. And the wine.
It was the company. It's a pity you've got to go.
I hate to drive after I've been drinking.
Oh, well, I'm way over the limit. Can I get you a cab?
Very expensive. Too late for a bus, too.
Well, I guess you'll just have to stay the night.
What a good idea.
Girls, I've got the Dispatch and B's articles in it. I nicked this from the screws to have a look before breakfast.
Oh, no. What's wrong?
Well, I just never thought they'd publish it.
Well, they did. See? It's headed Letter from Wentworth, and it goes on to say that
I know what it goes on to say, Doreen.
Of course, there's no names, but we'll all know who it is, won't we? It'll all come out.
Yeah, it will.
Well, I thought you'd be pleased, Chrissie. I mean, it could do a lot of good.
Not for me, it won't.
Well, it might keep the staff off our back.
Of course it won't. They're just going to get on my back, aren't they? Make my life a misery.
Well, Bea wouldn't have done it if she thought you would have got into trouble.
Okay, you lot, who pinched my money?
What are you talking about?
The whole betting bank's been swiped. Did you see where I put it yesterday?
No, you wouldn't let me look. Anyway, I'm the other one that got ripped off, remember?
Could have been a cover-up.
Faye.
I don't think you're smart enough.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Anyway, I didn't come in here to talk to you. It's them two, the new girls.
Yeah, I'm not so new. And you check back nothing was ever nicked when I was in here before? Well, not by me, anyway.
You could have changed your ways.
Now, look, I've got enough hassles in here without you pointing the finger for me for something I haven't done.
Oh, look, you two, keep it down or all the screws in the place will be in here. She's a bit upset because she thinks this bit in the paper that Bea wrote might get all the staff on her back.
Oh, tough. I'm upset about the money.
When did it disappear?
Must have been when I was in the showers.
Well, I was last out of there today with Judy.
All right. Well, somebody must have discovered where I put it, and I didn't advertise my hiding place like Doreen did.
Well, the day hers was taken, I was in court.
All right. Nobody said it was you. But I bet whoever did it did both jobs.
So do I.
Yeah, me too. But it's not going to do us any good snapping at each other, is it? We got to put our heads together, see if we can find out who pinched it, eh?
Another $10, was it? I'll have to give you 50.
Hi, Jackie.
Susie, hi, how are you? Hey, it's really good to see you.
I could hardly believe it was you for a minute.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Hey, you look pretty good in civvies. What are you doing? Big spend up, eh?
Yeah, I'm just buying myself a pressie for my birthday. Well, it's a shirt. Everything's fairly expensive in here.
Birthday? Well, we've got to celebrate that. How about lunch?
I'll have to be back at work by lunch.
Oh, lunch, brunch, call it what you like. Look, we've got things to talk about. Tell you what, I'll even pay.
Oh, will you?
I'd love to.
I'd love it too.
Good. Along the way, I might just pick up a few things to wear.
Come on.
Mrs. Davidson, have you seen this?
Indeed I have. And wherever Steve Faulkner is, I want to speak to him in my office right now.
He's not on duty this morning.
Then see if he's at home, and if so, get him in here straight away.
You know, there's one great thing about working for a living.
No, what's that?
Days off and sleeping in.
I didn't notice much sleeping going on.
You know what I mean.
Do I ever? I'll get the eggs.
No, I'll get them.
Okay.
Do you want me to get that?
Go on.
Hello, Faulkner residence.
Colleen Powell speaking. Is that you, Wendy?
Yes, but I suppose you want to talk to Steve.
Yes, I do, thank you. Urgently.
Colleen Powell?
Yeah, hello. What can I do for you?
I think it's more what you can do for yourself. Have you seen this morning's dispatch?
No, why? Yeah. About what? I'll be in our office as soon as I can.
What about your breakfast?
No time. I gotta get moving.
I don't really want any sweets.
Pretty rotten birthday celebration.
Oh, no, it's not.
Should have been champagne and a big cake.
Oh, that's all right. Anyway, old Beamish might crack a bottle back at the hostel.
Not from what you've told me. Sounds too much like Wentworth for my liking.
Well, it's not the best. It's all I can afford and what I get paid.
Hey, the chuck wagon sounds pretty off too.
Jackie, fancy meeting you here.
Oh, hi. Have a seat.
Thanks.
Coffee?
Well, I'd love some.
Can we have some coffee? Susie, this is Donna. Donna, Susie.
Hi, Sus. You working with Jackie?
Oh, no. Though she'd be better off if she was, wouldn't you?
I don't know.
Well, that's my shopping. That's hers. She'd be better off.
Why not make the change then?
I don't think I'd like what you do.
Depends on the men. Going gets rough, you just close your eyes and think of England.
What does that mean?
Now, that's innocence.
I can tell. Plenty of men who'd pay a fortune for that.
I'm all right, really. I've got a job and a place to live.
Don't let things like that hang you up, love. I tell you what. If the situation changes, give me a ring. I'm not hassling you or anything, but there's plenty of room at my place if you ever want to stay, okay?
Mind if I settle here?
Suit yourself. I'll just take this over to Doreen and Chrissie.
Quinn, outside.
Looks like Big J's got herself a new playmate. Not to worry, though. The dispatch will soon put a stop to that. Well, let's get back to the parking, Joey's, eh?
What do you mean it was stolen?
Just what I said. When I went to get it, it was gone.
Oh, I suppose you put it in a safe place.
Of course I did.
You're lying, Quinn.
No, I'm not. Look, I make it
Doesn't
up.
matter. You're off the book.
Hey, but I made a go of it.
I don't do business with incompetence.
Oh, please, Miss Ferguson.
Forget it. Where you're going, you won't be worried about bookmaking.
What you gonna do with me?
Make a recommendation. I reckon you should be transferred.
Where to?
Another block.
You old bitch.
That does it.
Just a minute. What's going on? Quinn giving you trouble?
I think we should have a word with Quinn about her discipline. Right, back to work for the moment.
Yeah, well, we'll worry about her later. Now, the governor would like to see us. The letter in the dispatch.
How's the job going, Susie?
Fine, thanks, Mr. Strawn.
Fine. That's all?
Oh, no. Oh, the people are really nice to work with and all that. Only...
Only what?
Well, I was wondering if there was any overtime I could do. You see, I'm not doing so well on the money.
You get paid the same as everybody else. Union rates.
I realise that. But most of the others are at school or college. They only work here to earn part-time money. And well, they live at home, so they don't have to pay rent.
But it's all you've got.
Yeah, I know. And by the time I've paid board and my fares, well, there's nothing left for anything else. Do you know what I mean?
Of course I do. And I think I can help you.
Oh, can you? I can work any time, and I don't mind what the roster's like.
Well, the roster wasn't exactly what I had in mind. I think we should get together after hours. Work something out. You know?
He's not up to that again, is he?
Jack, well, what do you mean?
Old Strawn. It's a hard word in just about every girl that works here.
Does he?
Yeah. You'd have to be pretty hard up, though, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I suppose you would.
The whole thing with Latham blew up because I told her I couldn't help but to see a child. Well, not on her terms, anyway.
So she told more lies to get back at him.
Well, they'd have to be very good to convince Smith. She's no fool, and she wrote the article.
But she will try and buck the system if she thinks she can get away with it.
Maybe she believes my alibi will break down.
Will it?
Well, Joan and I did spend a few minutes apart that night.
Yes, but not long enough for that to have happened.
Well, of course, I intend to speak to Smith and Latham, but I wanted to hear what you had to say first. Well, leave it with me, and thank you very much for coming in early, Mr. Faulkner. Who is it, Mrs. Powell?
A reporter to see you.
Oh, blast. Well, I suppose it had to happen. Would you bring Latham in, Miss Ferguson?
Of course, Governor.
I'll get Smith if you like.
No, I don't think you ought to see either of them unless we're all present. Mrs. Powell, would you get Smith? Heather, if the reporter would like to wait, I'll see him as soon as I can. Thank you.
You just don't get transferred for nothing. She must have said something.
Not her.
You know, I reckon it was her that pinched the money.
Why?
Well, why not? She'd have no trouble getting rid of it, and there's no bloody way I'd accuse her of it.
Well, she probably took my money as well.
Yeah, I reckon you've done that cold, Dor. Rotten bitch.
Speak of the devil.
You finished your meal, Latham?
Yes.
Good, because the Governor wants to see you. Come on, move it. Before we go any further, I was just wondering about that little girl of yours.
Yeah? What about her?
Well, how much you really want to see her, for instance.
You know I do.
Badly?
Yes, badly.
Good. Because there's something I want you to do. And if you want to see that little girl of yours again, you'd better do as you're told.
He used to give me roses. I wish he could again. But that was on the outside, and things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines. together, sharing all the love we'd known, till I had to face the nightmare of waking up alone. On the inside the roses grow, they don't mind the stony ground, but the roses here are prisoners too when morning comes around.